right. And you're a minute early today. Minute early, not a minute late. I'm gonna be not a few minutes late, but I'm gonna be a minute early to make up for last week. Hey, Jamie. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Let me correct my little angle here a little bit. I'm feeling good, and feeling real good for tomorrow. I hope you are too. Can't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't get here soon enough, does it? I mean, I think, hey, Kim, how are you? Yeah. Well, there's Chris. No, I don't use TikTok much, so I'm not going to miss it. Hey, Jeff. Yep. Yeah. T 27 hours and counting. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? Yeah. About noontime tomorrow. We'll hopefully be in a better situation. Hey, Walter. Yep. Bye bye, Joe and Kamala. Adios. Adios, amigos. Yeah, that's true. And I hope the economy is going to, you know, do well. And I hope, well, things are shaking up already. I mean, look what happened over in Israel already. And by all indicators, they say that his negotiators are the ones that's really helped out. Yeah. Well, I hope it's not the same situation. I hope we get a better situation, Chris. Yeah, well, the inauguration is going to be inside for a change since Reagan. And, if things hold true the way it was when Reagan was in, I'll be happy with that. I really will. I mean, yeah, I hope it works out. I mean, I hope it works out every time we have a new president or anything. I don't wish I don't wish ill on the country, period. Uh, I mean, we want the country, we want to unify and get the country back in shape. We've just had such bad situation for the past 4 years. I mean, think back to 2020. I mean, I can think back. That's the year I had my heart attack and bypass surgery and COVID and everything else. It was terrible. Hey, Jerome, how are you? Yeah, I'm looking forward to stability. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to is to have a stable situation and get rid of this woke stuff. I mean, I think so many people are so tired of all this woke crap that just think back 4 years ago, when women in men and women's sports. I want rid of that. I want to get back. I want the border safe again, if we can get that. And that's already seeming to kind of change a little bit. There was a flood of people. I think what was it? They were showing in just in Charlotte the other day. There was a flood of people at the immigration office, I believe it was, trying to get their cases heard so they could have asylum and everything in the U.S. I mean, they said there were people camping out from the previous day before the office opened up, and it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, I'm sick of this winter too. Yeah, and unfortunately, we're supposed to have some bad weather coming in tonight down here. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but it's still it was foggy this morning. It was still fairly warm this morning down here. It wasn't bad, but it's supposed to be down in the teens, and I don't need that. I don't need that at all. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, Info Warrior. I mean, it's we need to let if they want to go back, go back. You doing okay, Jerome? Yeah, everybody in North Carolina seems to be doing fine. 23 degrees for the high in North Carolina mountains. Oh yeah. 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 Now the mountains are supposed to be getting it fairly early. I'm down here. I'm in the Piedmont. I'm down here in Gaston County, and we're not supposed to start getting cold till late this afternoon. And then it's supposed to drop down into the teens. Yeah, it's not going to be good tomorrow. I don't want to get out and about tomorrow. That's for sure. Yeah, just chilling, are you? Yeah. Well, that's the thing to do. Well, I hope and pray that the a lot of things will get straightened out. You already see the corporations wanting to work better with Trump, and you see hopefully the economy is going to spin back around like it should be, and we start getting some of this regulation straightened out. I mean, look, these people in California, I feel sorry for them on trying to get regulations cleared up to rebuild on their property out there. I mean, California, they say right now is the hardest place to even build a house. I mean, it's almost impossible. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the farm tomorrow. Yeah, I stay on the farm every day. I mean, I've got 75 acres and a pasture and everything else, and I just work the land. And of course, I don't want any animals. I don't want to. People always say, "Why don't you put some cattle out there?" We've had that before. I had that when I was young. My father-in-law, when he was alive and he owned the property, uh, he had cattle, and then it was always my responsibility. It seemed like to get them straightened out when they got out, and it was always one of the coldest nights of the year. Usually, when one of them would get out, I several times we had them get out and get hit by a car or something. Had to, shoot the animal and stuff like that, and or just get them back in and everything else. It was just a pain in the butt. So I don't miss chasing animals at all. That is not a fun thing to do. Yeah, well, and now chickens wouldn't be bad to get. That's for a person that wants a cheap animal to raise. Chickens is the cheapest probably. I mean, I don't want to raise cows. I mean, cattle is. I mean, there's a lot to be had with cattle. Chickens, not so much. I mean, if you like, if you can get chickens, put them in a pen, and or if you even want to free range them, if you got enough land. I mean, a lot of people just free range them, but the problem is you can't, with all the wild animals out there, you can't free range chickens anymore. You have to protect them against the predators. Is what you've got to do. I mean, I've got so many foxes and wild dogs and deer and turkeys and everything else running around over here. I mean, you couldn't free range chickens, and I don't think I'd want to. But if you had, I mean, I could probably put them out in my pasture and let them sort of free range. I mean, I could get one of those. You've seen a lot of them. A lot of guys have the coops that they'll move the coop, and they'll let the chickens. They'll let the chickens uh, uh, eat and everything for about 4 or 5 days, and then they'll move the coop again and just move it all around inside a pasture and get the mobile coop more or less. And that a way you could do pretty good, um, and not have to feed them as much either. Too. I mean, you still have to feed them a little bit of mash and everything, but you could do good. Of course, you're not going to get much. You're not going to get many eggs in the winter time. In the spring and summer and the fall, you'll be overrun with eggs. But wintertime, they don't produce as many eggs. But if you had enough, I guess you could. You get some laying hens. We used to do that when I was young. but there again, I don't want to mess with animals. So yeah, the coyotes are terrible around here. I mean, I hear them at night. My dogs, we put them in the basement at night. We got a certain area. My wife kind of made a special area for the dogs in the basement. So we put them in the basement at night. And then these coyotes, you'll hear them in the background, and my dogs go crazy. They'll wake me up barking at the coyotes they hear in the background. But yeah, I don't like these little coyotes. They're getting. It's strange how we're getting. I don't know if it's because of all the houses being built everywhere and all the neighborhoods kind of condensing uh, the wild areas or the free areas that animals can populate. They're just getting. It seems like they're just running them back over here to my farm almost. But I mean, I know it's getting that way everywhere. Deer are. We got way too many deer in the United States now. I I don't know why they don't open up the deer season even more because we definitely are not harvesting enough deer because I know we maintain, I guarantee, right here on the farm, there's at least 15 or 20 deer out here every day. And I know the deer population is increasing. I mean, the strange thing about it, when I was young, we didn't see as many deer. And now, in the past 20, 30 years, the deer population has gotten huge, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Coyotes are a problem. I mean, if you had chickens, you definitely would have to have a good cage around it to protect them because the predators would get them. Oh, I know it. Now, you see deer. I mean, they're getting to be like possums on the roads, aren't they? I mean, they're dangerous out there. I tell you, I've had a couple. I had a couple of trucks, tractor trailer trucks, that got tore up bad because of deer. I mean, my guys, and I even hit one. I had a big buck. I had a buck, the biggest deer I'd ever hit, and it was a big buck. Was right downtown Durham, North Carolina. I mean, that big a population, and it was. I mean, I was going. I wasn't 4 miles from Duke University, and a big deer, big buck, ran across the interstate right in front of me, and you know, I sent it to deer heaven. Of course, I tore up the radiator on my truck too at the same time because those big antlers went right into my radiator. So it is what it is. But the deer population is big out there now, and I think the conservation people need to see if they can't thin it down, open up deer season a little bit longer. I mean, I don't think they have it out long enough, but I'm not the one keeping up with the population. Yeah, well, that's what I said. The deer are running in these downtown areas now, big time, and I was surprised. I mean, here I am. It looks. I mean, it's the interstate's lit up good, everything, and then all of a sudden, wham! Right here, a big buck jumps right out on me in front of me. Right. Well, I was still on 85. I was right there on 85 before I turned to get right to Durham. But so I guess I was not in the downtown area, but I wasn't but just a few miles from Duke University. It's right off of 85 down there. Uh, or is it 70? Might be 70. I can't remember. Yeah, yeah, big turkey could do some damage too. I got some big ones. I got some big turkeys out here. And I got a peacock that runs with the turkey. Have y'all ever seen that before? I mean, I've got a peacock that he runs with the turkeys, the wild turkeys. I got a wild peacock. So the old saying, birds of a feather flock together, not exactly. That excuse me. That turkey, I mean that peacock likes to hang out with the turkeys. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he has a turkey fetish, or maybe he's got a turkey buddy. I don't know if they fool around together, but I know they can't cross breed, but they can probably cross fool around a little bit. I don't know, but that peacock, he struts his stuff with the turkeys out there, the wild turkeys, and then he loses his feathers. My wife has collected the feathers around here, and she's got a whole little basket like thing with just the peacock feathers. Looks pretty. I mean, it's got the long plume on it and everything, and she's got that saved downstairs. Yeah, I think he does. He identifies as a turkey. Yeah, we got a peacock that identifies as a turkey. I don't know. Now that Trump's in, he might not be able to do that. He may have to quit. He may have to go with his own birds. You can't flock together anymore. So they be like the bathroom wars. He'll have to go over here, and the turkeys go over there. Don't know. We'll find out. But I hope everybody's doing good. I'm feeling pretty good. Well, except I've been working a lot this week. Actually, I've been DJing. Had a lot of guys out, and we actually lost one of our DJs this week. We had one of the guys passed away. He had cancer, and he'd been struggling for past few months. He had tried to get back and work a little bit, but his cancer got worse on him. He passed away Monday. So we're doing a tribute and everything for him next week and all that sort of stuff. But I've had to, because different guys, well, we had some of the guys that actually went out on a cruise. So I got corralled into doing more DJ work. Yeah, I got my electrical breaker repaired. I sure did. My son came by last Sunday, and we worked on it right after I got off the podcast. He came by, and we of course we had to shut everything down and in the house, and we changed it out and everything because it was a big 125 amp breaker and everything. So we had to clean up everything, make sure there wasn't any damage, because when these 125 amp breakers start popping, you know that something's overheating, something's overloaded. And he got it, and he checked the load to make sure we weren't overloading. We're probably going to change some circuits. I got a sub panel going off of that 125, and we're probably going to have to either make another sub panel or something, or redirect some of the stuff that I've got out of that off that 125, because the 125 runs into a sub panel, and then I got a couple things off it. So we're thinking about redirecting some things and getting that squared up. He's a pretty good electrician, and he's a licensed electrician and electrical engineer too. And excuse me, still got a cold, and I'm getting kind of stopped up here. But yeah, I'm trying to get everything straightened out. This wintertime, I got some things to straighten out at my new building that I bought too. I think I've told most of y'all that I purchased another building up near my other buildings that I have. It's one that my father-in-law actually built about 40 years ago. And my wife and I wanted to buy it back when it came back on the market. And the crazy thing about it, we got another building that's right adjoining our property that also is going up for auction because the guy passed away. Young boy, he's actually as young as my children. He went to school with my children, and he owned a building down below me. He wasn't but like 56, and he died of a heart attack a few months ago. And his children, well, his son, he's got a son, and the guy's new wife were kind of battling it out about who owns property or whatever, and they've got that up for auction coming up this next month, and I want to see what it goes for anyway. It'd be nice to have it, but I don't want to over obligate myself either. Although I could probably turn around and rent it out real easy because it's on the main highway, and it's got about 3 acres of land, I believe. I think it's three, maybe 4 acres of land, but it adjoins my land, and it would be a good property. It'd be a good property to own. Of course, I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get too strung out and be too obligated with too many things. You can get too many projects at one time, but we'll see what direction it goes. But that's the way everything is. That's the way everything is right now. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I'm trying to get my health back as straight as I can. I had that little bout that I had to take off and go to the hospital a week or two ago, and I don't even know if I said much about it, but I went overnight basically, and they ran a lot of tests, and they gave me a good bill of health, you might say, and so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So I'm happy with that. Well, guys, I'm going to have to I'm going to cut it short again today because I don't have a lot to say. I got to save my voice a little bit because I'm on the air again. Let me put that on down here. Let me put that on my chat here. Just check me out at jukinoldies.com. That's where I'm going to be this afternoon from noon to 3. I'm going to be out there playing my music. So I'm going to head it on out, get on up there and kind of clean up some things, work on some music files, stuff like that. Y'all have a good week. We're going to be happy for tomorrow. I'll see you then. I'll see you next Sunday anyway. Take care, guys.